Hey, my name's James Nicholson. Welcome to the February 2023 property update. Now, we've been doing these every single month since March of last year. So we're pretty much on our 12th one now, which is great. So thank you for all those that have been following along. Now, we've been sharing my investment journey. We've been sharing news in the property market. We've been sharing strategies. And I want you to join us on that journey together. So make sure while you're here, if you've not done already, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification. Go on, do it now. Won't take you 2 seconds. Go on, subscribe, hit the bell. And if you're already subscribed and you've done that part, smash that like button, guys. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm. So another crazy month in property. Are we going to have a calm month at some point in 2023? Well, the last 6 months have been bonkers, haven't they? We've had 5 consecutive months of house price drops now, haven't we? And we just did a video on that and what that means. So prices are down 5 months in a row. Now, the last one is the December data. Not a huge drop, 0.6%. Not great though, is it? We don't want house prices going down. Now, on an annual basis, prices are still up. They were up 1.1%. It's tiny, a little amount. And obviously, as we lose months and just have the back end that has all those losses, that's going to be something that continues to drive down that market. Now, that could be seen as something to worry about, but it's also opportunity. And that's what I want you to look at this as because this property channel is for property investors, people that want to make money in property. Now, asking prices on Rightmove are actually up, which is interesting. So in January, asking prices had a big jump. And if you want to see a bit more about that, we made a video on that in the last week or so. That's interesting to see, and that happens because January is generally a better month. There are more instructions for the estate agents and stuff like that, because lots of people, once you get to November, you don't want people coming and doing viewings when you've got your Christmas tree up and you got your family there, so they go a bit quiet. They get deals done because people want to complete before Christmas, and then January it kicks off again. But it's interesting to see that the asking prices went up. Now remember, I'm saying asking prices. It doesn't mean the sold prices are going up, but it does show that the new people coming onto the market aren't desperate. They're not desperate. And that's interesting to see. Now, mortgage approvals in December were really low, 35,000. So that means that there's not lots of people in the market to buy at the moment. And so that means that the market might not move high or low or do anything really at all because we're kind of at a stalemate. We don't have enough buyers on the market for now. Now, what that could indicate is that some of these buyers that have just whacked their asking price up, when they see they're not getting lots of viewings in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, they might start dropping their prices a little then to match. So that's interesting to see. So prices are down, asking prices are up. This is something interesting that you might have missed, especially if you've got a leasehold property. Leaseholds. Okay, so leaseholds are a nightmare. In fact, I own a number of leasehold properties, and I recommend that you only really buy houses if you can. And you can do that in areas where you can afford it before you tell me you live in London and you can't afford a house. So leaseholds are something that you own for a period of time. Could be 90 years, 100 years. If you're lucky, it's 999 years. And if that lease drops below a certain number, which I think is 70 years, it can cost you a fortune to extend the lease. It's something called marriage rights. Now, the government has been putting together some legislation. They've been looking at how property is managed in Australia, America, where else was it? There was a number of places where they don't have the system that we have, and they want to become like America and like Australia, where they feel the system's a little bit more fair. And so they've said in last year that they would abolish ground rent. They did that. They said the second part was they would make it a lot easier to extend your lease and a lot cheaper to extend your lease. I have a lease that's short on one property, and the extension is 25 grand. 25 grand. So that's not ideal. So the leasehold reform, the second part of it, Michael Gove this week has given a date, and he's saying that this will be completed before the next general election, which is next year. That's great news for investors. Great news just for homeowners in general. It's a very expensive way to extend the lease, and so if that gets abolished, that's really good. I did a video on that yesterday, so do go and check that out. So that's one thing that's happened there. Now, interest rates all the time, 10 times in a row. So interest rates went up again. We went from 3.5% to 4%. But so far, and I'll make a video on this next week, doesn't look like actual borrowing costs got more expensive. People that will get hit by that are people on a variable rate mortgage, which is about 20% of the market. So their payments will go up immediately, which isn't great for them. But 80% of the market now fix, which is good because prior to 2008, it was the other way around. 80% of the market were on a variable rate. That would be really bad news if we were with these rates going up as they are at the moment, if we had all those people exposed. Now, people will become exposed as they come off their deals throughout this year and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Now, I was looking at the data and it was saying that when we had all the calamity of the mini budget, the interest rates that you could get went up to like 6.5%, 6.6% were some of the deals because they didn't know where we were going to end up. Now, there are deals out there for 4%, 5%, even with the base rate going up as it has. So that's good. And so that means that deals have gone up from 2% to around 4.5%. That is easier to swallow. And if you're on a repayment mortgage, that's not going to be too bad for you. Rents have carried on rising as well this month. And so that doesn't look like it's going to sort itself out. We've got talk about rent control in London. Sadiq Khan's talking about adding rent control in. Problem with that is, how I see it, is that what will happen is landlords will quit. More landlords will quit. And so, yes, you might say, Rob, this flat over here is £1,000. That's what it's capped at. But what if there's 50 people going for one flat? That's the problem that they've got. The real issue is we don't have enough properties. And so all the new legislation, Section 24, all these different things that have come out over the last few years have pushed landlords out the market. 30% of them have quit. That's why rents are rising at their fastest rate since anything that we can recall in modern history. Rents are out of control. I don't think it's good for the landlords either, because if you get a tenant in and the rent's really high, then if they can't pay you, then that's not good. So it's just not a good situation to be in. I would prefer house prices went up steadily and rents went up steadily at a slow pace. I don't like these huge jumps in rent or huge jumps in house prices, because invariably you get crashes at the end of that. So that's interesting there. And what else is there? That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it this month. So prices are down 0.6%. That's not great, but it's not going to kill you. And if you're a property investor, you should be looking to get 10, 20% off the market value anyway. Auctions, I'm seeing prices are 20 to 25% down already. You can buy 25% below market value deals in an auction already. So if you buy from somewhere like that, then the market is going to protect you. Because also, another thing is, if you buy it in the auction, it needs renovation. So you're going to add value to that property as well. So this is the news. That's what's been going on in the market. Anything I've missed, do let me know in the comments. Any opinion on any of this, do let me know in the comments. Where do you think the market's going to go for the next 3 months? Let's ask that question. Give me that reply in the comments. Do smash the like button, guys. And if you want to learn how to buy a house for £1, I made a video a few weeks back on exactly how you can do that too. And so that video is right here.